Hello, students, and welcome to the second part of chapter 14, Sources of Energy. So, earlier we have discussed about different type of good sources, that which sources we are consider as a good source. Today I will discuss 14.2, which is conventional sources of energy. What do you mean by conventional sources? Conventional sources means those sources which are very limited and those who have been finished with few time. It means after few years these sources will be finished. So first energy source is fossil fuels. Okay, in ancient times food was the most common source of heat energy. The energy of flowing water and wind was also used for limited activities. Can you think of some of these uses? Okay, in ancient time, during old times, people were used wood for their heat purposes, for cooking food or for anything. Next, they are using water and wind as their limited activities. So, the exploitation of coal as a source of energy made the industrial revolution possible. Then, someone find the fossil fuels in the earth crust, earth surface. So, this is changing and it will make different type of industries to grow. Different industries are revolution possible. Different industries are growing during the invention of coal. Increasing industrialization has led to a better quality of life all over the world. It has also caused the global demand for energy to grow at tremendous rate. ठीक है, due to this increasing industrialization, people's life is becoming better. We are getting better and better things in around us, and the demand of the energy is uh, the growing demand for energy was largely made by the fossil fuels, coal and petroleum. Okay, this growing demand is largely completed. I mean, yes, this growing demand in earlier time was largely completed by the using of coal and petroleum. Our technologies were also developed for using these energy sources, but these fuels were formed over millions of years ago and there are only limited reserves. Okay, they take very long time, like millions, 1 million means 10 lakh years. Many years they require to form, and we are using it at a great pace. So compare, if we compare the generation rate and using rate, so using rate is more. So one time will come when there will be no fossil fuel on the earth surface. The fossil fuels are non-renewable sources of energy, so we need to conserve them. If we were to continue consuming these sources at such alarming rates, we would soon run out of energy. In order to avoid these, alternate sources of energy were explored. Because these are very limited sources, so in near future, after I think maybe in the 2050, these fossil fuels will be completely over. So at that time we have to switch our energy demand due to some renewable energy source. In order to avoid these, alternate sources of energy were explored, but we continue to be largely depend on fossil fuels for most of our energy requirement till today. Okay, as in this pie chart you can see that coal is largely used, then green is petroleum, then yellow means water energy, then blue means nuclear, yellow means wind. So large part of energy, almost 60% part of our present energy is fulfilled by coal and petroleum. Burning of fossil fuels have other disadvantages too. We learned in class 9th about the air pollution caused by burning of coal or petroleum products. The oxides of this carbon, nitrogen, sulfur that are released on burning fossil fuels are acidic oxides. These lead to acid rain which affects our water and soil resources. In addition to the problem of air pollution, recall the greenhouse effect of gases like carbon dioxide. So this coal mainly contains carbon. Okay, so this carbon when go to the atmosphere, it will become carbon dioxide, nitrogen oxide, sulfur oxide. These are very poisonous gases. They are forming acidic oxides, and ultimately they are causing acid rain, and also they are uh, responsible for the greenhouse effect also. So the burning of this fossil fuel is very harmful for our environment. It will be very bad, and its effect we are currently seeing that air quality is becoming degraded by day. The pollution caused by burning of fossil fuels can be somewhat reduced by increasing the efficiency of the combustion process and using various techniques to reduce the escape of harmful gases and ashes into the surroundings. Okay, this fossil fuel emission can be reduced to by research and by implementing new technologies by which we can be emit very less quantity of these poisonous acidic gases. So and also you can collect that harmful gases, that carbon dioxide which emits from your chimney. If you collect that gas and use it in other purposes, then also its emission can be reduced. Besides being used directly for various purposes in gas stoves and vehicles, do you know fossil fuels are the major fuels used for generating electricity? Yes, as you can see that petrol and diesel you are using in your vehicles for transportation. But this energy, the light, electricity from which your air conditioner, your refrigerator, your television, your tube light, your fan, almost everything of your house which consumes electricity, that electricity generally made by this burning of fossil fuels. Okay, so let us produce some electricity at our own small plant in the class and see what goes into producing our favorite form of energy. So let's do one activity 14.3. Take a table tennis ball and make 3 slits into it. Put semicircular fins cut out of metal sheet into these slits. Pivot the tennis ball mm, on axle throughout its center with a straight metal wire fixed to a right rigid support. Ensure that the tennis ball rotates freely about the axle. Now connect a cycle dynamo to this. Connect a bulb in series. Direct a jet of water or steam produced in pressure cooker at the fins. What do you observe? Okay, see. So in this activity I will show you how electricity is generated from fossil fuel. So first of all, heat. This heat, how can we produce this heat? It is very important. Coal. You have seen in villages that people are burning coal to produce heat and to produce energy to burning in to cook food. So if you burn coal here, okay, so they will produce large amount of heat. This heat energy will transfer to this cooker. This cooker will create pressure. Due to this pressure the steam will come, the pressurized steam will come. It will force this tennis ball to rotate freely. So this tennis ball will rotate freely. Due to the rotation of this dynamo will convert this mechanical energy into electrical energy, and ultimately we will glow our bulb. So the main sources of energy is this heat. And how this heat is produced? This heat is produced by the using of coal. Okay, yes. So this is our turbine for generating electricity. The simplest turbines have one moving part, rotor blade assembly. The moving fluid acts on the blades to spin them and impact energy to the rotor. So to moving this fluid you require some energy, some pressure. Okay, so this pressure energy can be caused due to the burning of coal. Thus we see that basically we need to move the fan, the rotor blade with speed which would turn the shaft of the dynamo and convert the mechanical energy into electrical energy. The form of energy which has become necessary in today's scenario, which is electrical energy. Okay, imagine that if light goes into your house, light cut in your house for almost 5 to 10 minutes, then you become very frustrated. You can't live without electricity for a few minutes also nowadays. So electrical energy is very important form of energy, because all the appliances in surround us. Even you have, if you have to charge your phone, your laptop for working, then also it requires electrical energy to charge. So after charging, after some point when your battery will finish, then you have to again charge your phone. So for charging your phone you require electrical energy. So This is very important energy. In fact, most important energy is electrical energy. So the various ways in which this can be done depends upon availability of the resources. We will see how various sources of energy can be harnessed to run the turbine and generate electricity in the following sections. So remember one thing, the principle is this: to rotate our this turbine like anything. If anything, imagine wind power station, you have this type of fans also. So by rotating these fans you generate electricity. So this rotation is very important, and you could not rotate it physically. Okay, you have to require some pressurized energy to rotate it, and to generate that pressurized energy you require fossil fuels. In fact, every energy, the main principle will be same, the rotation of this turbine. So for that energy you take different type of energy. So first is fossil fuel, then I will discuss about thermal power plant. Large amount of fossil fuels are burnt every day in power stations to heat up water to produce steam, which further runs the turbine to generate electricity. Okay, this steam, okay, yes, ultimately we require this steam to rotate our turbine. So this steam, how will we produce this steam? There are many different type of sources from which we can generate this steam, but after steam the path is similar. The transmission of electricity is more efficient than transporting coal or petroleum over the same distance. For example, if you find coal at Ankleshwar, or you have to transfer that coal to Ahmedabad, okay, it is very difficult to transfer directly that coal to Ahmedabad. But if you convert electrical energy from that coal and you transfer electricity, then it will be very efficient and very easy compared to transporting direct coal. Therefore, many thermal power plants are set up near coal or oil fields. That's why all the plants are set up near this field. After converting into electrical energy, we can easily transfer it to other places. But the whole coal or whole oil field, whole oil is very dangerous to transport, and it is very toxic also. The term thermal power plant is used since fuel is burned to produce heat energy, which is converted into electrical energy. Okay, yes, main is either mechanical to electrical or heat energy to electrical energy. Ultimately these all energies will lead to producing electricity, electrical energy. So please remember this point in mind. Third is hydropower plants. Hydro, as you have means, hydro means water. So by the pressure of water you rotate the turbine and generate electricity by using dynamo. This dynamo principle you will study in chapter number 13, which is the magnetic effect of your electric current. In that chapter you will study that how this mechanical energy of rotation is converted into electrical energy. So I will teach you that in chapter number 13 of your science, which is magnetic effect of electric current. So as of now, just remember it, that it will convert mechanical energy into electrical energy. So another traditional source of energy was the kinetic energy of flowing water, or the potential energy of water at height. So when you flow the dams, imagine the dam. Many of you might have visited the Sardar Sarovar Dam, and if you have special permission and you can go downstream side of that dam, then you will find that there are 3 to 4 turbines which are placed inside that dam. So due to the pressure of that water force, those turbine will be run, and after the movement of those turbines you can convert that into electrical energy. Since there are very few waterfalls which could be used as a source of potential energy, hydropower plants are associated with dams. In the last century, a large number of dams were built all over the world. As we can see from figure 14.1, a quarter of our energy requirement in India is met by hydropower plants. Okay, in this pie chart you can see that very few amount of energy is produced by your hydropower plant. Okay, hydro means water. So now we will study that how we can convert that water energy into electrical energy, or how we can rotate the turbine. So this is the cross section of a dam. which are built everywhere. So this is the layer. Here there is reservoir, it means water are stored. Here they made small gates. Okay, so by these small gates this water will be flowed to here and it will rotate this turbine. So as this turbine will rotate circle, it will connect it to the generator. This generator will convert this rotation of mechanical energy of turbine into electrical energy, and ultimately this energy will be transferred to by the pipelines to the different parts of our country. It may be go to nearby cities or it may be go to the different state also. Okay, it depends. And ultimately this water will again mix to the river. In order to produce hydel electricity, high-rise dams are constructed on a river to obstruct the flow of water. Okay, this high-rise dams are constructed to obstruct the flow of water. The flow will stop. This is also by the slope, so water will come in here to the turbine with a slope. So to obstruct the flow of water and thereby collect. In order to produce hydel electricity, high-rise dams are constructed on the river to obstruct the flow of water and thereby collect water in large reservoirs. The water level rises, and in this process the kinetic energy of flowing water gets transferred into potential energy. The water from the high level in the dam is carried throughout pipes to the turbine at the bottom of the dam. Since the water is the reservoir would be refilled each time it rains, so we would not have to worry about hydroelectricity sources getting used up by the way fossil fuels would get finished up the day. ठीक है, if you can transfer that this used water again back to this reservoir level, then your reservoir will again comes up. So this is not finishable source, this is not non-conventional source, it is renewable source that you can get an infinite quantity of water, and due to rainfall also we will get more and more water also. But construction of big dams have certain problems associated with it. Now this disadvantage also of constructing this dam. The dams can be constructed only in a limited number of places, preferably in hilly terrains. Okay, so you cannot construct this dam anywhere wherever you want. You think there are certain limitations, certain places where you can construct this type of dams. Large areas of agricultural land and human habitation are to be sacrificed as they get submerged. So in news, Sardar Sarovar Dam was when constructed, many farmers were opposed because their agricultural land was go to the reservoir area, so they have to sold their land. So many people were opposed during that time. So Lord, even any village which comes to the place of that water, then that village should be also shifted to the new site. So it is very complex process to construct a dam because you have to take care of many factors. Large ecosystems are destroyed when submerged under the water in dams. Ecosystem is aquatic life. Many plants and many aquatic animals are submerged under that water. The vegetation which is submerged rots under anaerobic conditions and give rise to large amounts of methane, which is also greenhouse gas. It creates the problem of satisfactory rehabilitation of displaced people. So opposition to the construction of Tehri Dam on the river Ganga and Sardar Sarovar project on the river Narmada are due to such problems. Okay, so these are some of the problems which are caused during the construction of these dams. But once these dams are constructed, then it will be very useful for people to generating electrical energy. Okay, so yes, I will stop this video till this. In next video we will discuss about the topic 4, which is improvement in the technology using conventional sources of energy. Okay, so mainly what kind of questions will be asked and explain hydro power plants, that how hydropower plants are working. So you have to explain this, how thermal power plants working, or write short note about thermal power plant, or write short note about fossil fuels, or how you can generate energy from fossil fuels, which are conventional sources of energy. These type of questions can be asked from these few topics. Okay, So they are very easy. So read it once, and if you have any doubt, then please ask me. Okay. So if you like this video, then please do like, do subscribe this channel, and also press the bell icon so that you get every notification when I upload any new video. Okay. So now in next video part 3, I will start discussing with topic number 14.2.4, which is improvements in this technology for using conventional sources of energy, and our first improvement will be in the biomass. Okay. So thank you for watching this video. Stay steady, stay healthy, stay safe, and stay at home during this pandemic time. Okay. Bye.